Hello everyone, I'm Rahul and you're watching StudyIQ IAS English. So I welcome you all. So Israel makes mandatory for its intelligence officials to learn Arabic and Islamic studies. Now why this has been done? As per the reports which are coming in, this has been done because Israel has been facing intelligence failure multiple times. It is facing difficulties in controlling the rebel, and as usual the thing would be they are facing difficulty with decoding the messages that have been going among the rebels, among the terrorists, and of course the failures have been a tipping point to go for a radical step, something like this. Though this has not been something new for Israel, they have already done it before, but this has been in news recently, so we would be discussing it, and we would not be just discussing the Israel's case, we'll be also taking up what India can learn from it. So dear friends, why they have done that? Very first thing is national security. They have been facing threats. They are in a state of confrontation most of the time, and their position is somewhat similar to India, though with a different context. We are also surrounded just like Israel with enemy nations. So this should make us wonder, like, do we really need such a policy like this? So moving on with this, so what they have done, they have made that each and every intelligence official from Israel would be undergoing mandatory training. Now, why this is done? This is done to have a better, control over your enemy state. Now, let us try to understand it from the Indian context. Now, as you all know that how we communicate, what we communicate, how we function, we sit at a very vulnerable position, because why we use a language that is pretty much international in nature. So the reason is all our documents, all our communication, they can be tracked down very easily. Now, why Israel is facing problems with terrorists? Now, if you were supposed to understand that they are facing problems at the level of language, they have not been able to decode it, and there are certain cultural nuances which they act as a trigger which they want to control, and vice versa of this thing also is there. That is, when you know the enemy better, you can formulate a better strategy for both defense and offense. Now, in the Indian context, why I'm saying that it could be Hindi or it has to be Hindi? It is for one reason, that it is widely spoken and understood, and secondly, Hindi has propagated in a more organic manner throughout the nation. What that means is, apart from all those political debates which keep on going in a nation, that Hindi imposition is happening, this, that, and each and everything, let it be Maharashtra, let it be Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, anyway. But I'm just presenting a hypothetical scenario to you. Imagine, if not Hindi, then at least any other language which you can think of, we are communicating in that language. It makes it really difficult for the enemy to decode what we are doing, and hence always whenever Hindi has been analyzed, especially in the political arena, it has been with the lens of imposition, cultural dominance, and each and everything. But this perspective, the strategic perspective, the question of national security, this has been often ignored, and the contribution of Hindi which it can do has been often overlooked, and hence I feel that this could make a good sense, or this could make a good case for promoting Hindi, at least for the national security cause, as a link language. Now, there are three good questions which I think you should ask if one was to ask, like, why Hindi? The very first thing is, why Hindi? So the answer to this question from my side would be that Hindi, that Hindi itself has not gone itself to impose on anyone or any state or any language. The thing is that the context in which Hindi has been set, let it be the political center being in Delhi, in the northern side, in the northern India, and other the cultural propagation which has happened. And this thing holds good for other language. Let's say like all those songs which trend on Instagram or anywhere else of southern movies, people across the entire states of India, they pick it up. So what has happened with Hindi, there has been organic penetration. Apart from that, the government tries to push it time and again. That's altogether a different issue, but it has been propagated in an organic manner. And second thing is the kind of, cross communication which has happened. English could be a linked language, but still it remains a language of the privileged people when we see it in the entirety. On the other hand, Hindi gets picked up by the common masses very well. Now, this point does not mean that any other language cannot serve as a linked language, but we are just on a hypothetical basis discussing on Hindi. Now, a second and very good question you can ask me: in the age of AI, when communication could be coded and decoded very easily, do we still need something like this? I mean, like for example, what Israel is trying to do, that can be done very easily via what? Via, using AI technology. You just decode the enemy. But dear friends, there are two things. First thing, in war, time factor matters very much. And especially when it comes to language and culture, the AI will take time to decode, because there are deeper messages. The same sentence spoken in different contexts could mean various things. To know the cultural nuances, to know what kind of jargons are used, they give you an edge. Now, next question could be, do we really need it? Is it really going to give us an advantage? Well, seeing from the case of Israel, how it has gone for it after facing failures, is definitely makes a case for us to study that, it will be giving us, strategic importance. It will give us the leverage over the enemy, where the enemy is unable to understand us. And also, needless to say, everyone having a certain level of language proficiency, which could be understood both in general manner, and also the jargons could be shared and understood very easily. This could make the functioning very easy, and the synergy could produce tremendous results. Now, however, as said, that the challenges which would be faced, that's normal, that the southern states, they have been often against the imposition of Hindi. But it's not about imposition of Hindi, which I would say, it's more about accepting the functional part of it for the national security or the national importance. At the same time, this does not mean that the regional diversity would not be respected, because this could be something that can be accommodated among the intelligence officials, as has been done by Israel. Now, next thing is, as we discussed, what would be the benefits of it? Now, dear friends, a nation like us having 22 official languages, if anything could serve as a link language, especially among the people who are working at the strategic level for the national security, for national importance, this could certainly make a sense. And in the end, I'll say, like, I'm not here to pass a judgment or pass a statement, but rather spark a debate. Does it really make sense to have a language for the national cause, for the cause of the national security and national interest? So I just hope, dear friends, that this would have spark a curiosity, have sparked various perspective in your brain. And for a healthy debate, I'm always open, and I'm leaving you with a very simple question. Which schedule of the Indian Constitution contains the list of official languages recognized by India? The options are 5th schedule, 6th schedule, 8th schedule, or the 10th schedule. You can answer me in the comment box. I'll give you a heart to each and every right answer, whomsoever would be answering that. But in the end, I just hope this debate, instead of seeing it from a narrow perspective, will see it from a larger perspective. And it's not just about Hindi. You can think of any other language we could serve this purpose, what Israel has done in terms of decoding the enemy. They have done it in a defensive manner. for their, preventing the offenses which are happening on them. Likewise, can having such a language, it could be Hindi, it could be any other language, can we have strategic importance or not? Do let me know. Take care of yourself. I'll see you again. Till then, take care of yourself. Bye bye.